The Chicago Bears are at a critical crossroads this offseason, and the whispers of potential trades are growing louder. Fans, where are you tuning in from? I want to hear your thoughts on the Bears' current roster decisions and where you believe they should go next. Let's dive into the state of the edge rusher position, which has been a focal point of concern for the Bears. The lack of movement in this area has been evident, with the front office seemingly sitting on their hands as other teams make strategic adjustments. While the offseason isn't technically over, the clock is ticking, and the Bears need to act decisively. It's true that trades during this period are rare, often overshadowed by vacations and golf outings among front office personnel. However, we've witnessed some movement in the league already. The question on everyone's mind is whether the Bears can make a significant addition to bolster their defensive line. While a marquee trade like Myles Garrett or Max Crosby seems out of reach, there are realistic options on the market worth exploring. Take Josh Sweat, for instance. Speculation around his availability has cooled, especially after NFL insiders suggested the Cardinals are intent on keeping him. Yet, history has shown us that every player has a price. If Sweat signals he won't attend training camp, the Cardinals could be forced to reconsider their stance. Coming off a career-high 12 sacks, acquiring him wouldn't come cheap. Likely a second-round pick would be necessary. But imagine the potential of pairing him with Austin Booker, creating a formidable edge rush that could transform our defense. Then we have Alex Highsmith from the Steelers, who finds himself in a situation that could lead to a trade. With TJ Watt and Nick Herbig ahead of him in the pecking order, Highsmith's role could be diminished, making him an intriguing option for the Bears. His recent absence from minicamp raised eyebrows, suggesting he might not be entirely satisfied with his standing on the team. If he becomes available, he could be had for a third-round pick and perhaps a fifth-round pick in 2028. Highsmith's 9.5 sacks last season indicate he's not just a good player. He's a solid contributor who could fit well into our defensive scheme without breaking the bank. Lastly, there's Kayvon Thibodeau, the wild card of this trade discussion. The former fifth overall pick has shown flashes of brilliance, but has struggled to find consistent performance, tallying only 8 sacks over the last 2 seasons. The Giants' recent draft of Arvell Reese raises questions about Thibodeau's future in New York. If the Bears were to pursue him, they'd be taking a considerable risk, as acquiring him would likely mean offering a day 2 pick for a 1-year rental. However, if the Bears can secure him at a reasonable price, he represents a reclamation project with the potential for substantial upside. In light of the current situation, the Bears must be proactive. The edge rusher market isn't overflowing with available talent, and the opportunity to strengthen the defensive line must not be passed up. It's crucial for the front office to weigh the benefits of taking calculated risks against the desire for immediate impact players. As we transition, the clock is ticking not just on potential trades, but on the Bears' ability to solidify their roster. What moves should the Bears make to ensure they are competitive this season? The answers could define the direction of the franchise for years to come. As the Chicago Bears look to bolster their defensive lineup, the name on everyone's lips is Josh Sweat from the Arizona Cardinals, who might just be available for trade. This comes at a crucial time for the Bears, who desperately need an edge rusher to invigorate a pass rush that has struggled in recent seasons. Christopher Knox highlighted the Bears as a potential destination for Sweat, noting that his unhappiness in Arizona could open the door for a trade. Reports indicate that Sweat has expressed his discontent about his situation, and Knox pointed out, teams looking to improve their defense should call the Arizona Cardinals about Josh Sweat, who may be looking for a change of scenery. With the Bears eyeing a stronger defense, the timing couldn't be more opportune. But where do we stand? NFL Network's Ian Rappaport stated that Sweat is not being traded. But let's be real. This is the NFL, and things can change on a dime. We've seen plenty of situations where players labeled as untouchable suddenly find themselves in new colors. The Bears are in a position where they need to act decisively. And if they want to be serious about competing, they can't afford to ignore this opportunity. What's more concerning is the Bears' performance last season, where they finished tied for the 7th fewest sacks in the league. The current edge situation is murky at best, with players like Austin Booker, Deo Odiingbo, and Shamar Turner all vying for a spot opposite Montez Sweat. None of them bring the same proven track record that Josh Sweat does. With double-digit sack seasons under his belt, including a standout 12-sack performance last year, acquiring Sweat would be a no-brainer for the Bears. Knox speculates that acquiring Sweat could cost a conditional third-round pick in 2027. While we can agree that a third-rounder would likely be the price, we shouldn't underestimate the urgency of the Bears' situation. Sweat's contract runs through 2028, which makes him a solid investment. He won't vanish after 2027 unless the Bears decide to part ways with him. However, the lack of guaranteed money after 2026 does raise some eyebrows and could hint at Sweat's frustrations in Arizona. At 29, Sweat is entering his prime. His durability throughout his career is a plus, and the Bears would be making a relatively low-risk commitment if they move for him. But let's be honest, the Bears have a track record of not always making the moves that fans like us want to see. The offseason has been quiet on the edge rusher front, and while training camp might shake things up, the current outlook suggests a static approach from the front office. What do you think, Bears fans? Should Chicago make the move for Josh Sweat? Or do you believe they should hold off? Comment below and let us know where you're watching from and your thoughts on this potential trade. Next up, we'll dive into the latest training camp updates and how they might affect these discussions. As we dive into this final segment, the spotlight is on Bears head coach Ben Johnson, who has made a bold statement about the team's offense and the dynamic play of quarterback Caleb Williams. Speculation is buzzing around how this combination could impact the Bears' performance in the upcoming season. Fans, where are you watching from? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take on this pivotal moment for our team. Johnson is confident in the multifaceted nature of his offensive scheme. He emphasized, "I feel like we're so multiple in what we do and what we put on tape. It's really not a huge concern of mine of teams feeling like they've got a beat on it." This is a refreshing take, especially after the scrutiny that has surrounded the Bears' offense in recent seasons. The unpredictability that Williams brings to the field is a game changer, something that defenses will struggle to prepare for. Johnson's confidence suggests that he believes in the growth and development of his players, particularly Williams, who has shown remarkable capability to operate outside the confines of a structured play. This is critical for the Bears as they look to not just compete, but dominate in games. Johnson's approach to self-scouting ensures the team is aware of its strengths and weaknesses, allowing them to adapt and thrive. It's a strategic mindset that could redefine how the Bears approach their offensive game plan. Now, let's pivot to the Lions, where defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard and head coach Dan Campbell are making waves with their revamped defense. Shepard remarked on the noticeable changes, particularly in the pass rushing department, saying, "The thing that stands out to me is length." This focus on acquiring taller, longer players seems to be a strategic move to enhance their defensive capabilities. However, as Bears fans, we must be cautious not to underestimate the Lions. They are clearly preparing for a competitive training camp, and their emphasis on competition could push them to elevate their play. Campbell echoed Shepard's sentiments, highlighting the newfound size and athleticism their edge positions now boast. He expressed excitement about the potential of players like Wonnum and Turner, and while they may be strengthening their defense, it's crucial for our Bears to continuously improve and outpace these developments. Across the division, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur is also making headlines with his fifth-round draft pick, Yeager Burton, who he believes is ready to compete at guard spots immediately. LaFleur's confidence in Burton, describing him as extremely coachable and athletic, signifies that the Packers are preparing to bolster their offensive line, which could pose challenges for our Bears in the upcoming encounters. As we forecast the season, the Bears' ability to adapt and counter these divisional shifts will be pivotal. Johnson's confidence in Williams and the offensive versatility he promises could be the antidote to the challenges presented by improved divisional rivals. In closing, the Bears find themselves at a crossroads, one that could define their trajectory for the season. With a coach who believes in unpredictability and a quarterback who thrives in chaos, there's reason for cautious optimism. But the Bears must capitalize on this momentum and stay ahead of the curve, particularly as other teams in the division are also making significant moves. What's your take on the Bears' direction under Johnson? How do you feel about Williams' potential as a game-changing quarterback? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. Together, we'll navigate this exciting season ahead.